want to go through just a few ways to come up with some good story ideas, and I'll go through these really quickly. Trends, that's the reporter's bread and butter. When they see something once, it's unique. Something twice, maybe it's a coincidence. The third time, it's a trend. Okay, and so that was a joke, really, but it happens. But it happens. If you can spot a trend that has not been written about before, that's huge. And the big stories that you see in magazine covers, Time and Newsweek probably do that more than anything. Is that, you know, iced tea, is it bad for you? You know, and you look in this article and it turns out, yeah, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But you know, radio, TV promotions, they do that kind of stuff all the time. Read publications that others miss. When I go to get my car fixed, I try to avoid the old issues of People magazine, although they're fun to read. But I look at things like Car and Driver and Modern Auto Mechanic, because you see things in there that it's a parallel universe that I just don't know anything about. And I've known people who, it's never actually happened to me, but you see something in there, you're the first one to know that they are looking for a particular product, service, whatever. You're the first person who does what you do to know that, because you're not in the car business. Or you go to the dentist office, you're not in the dental business. You're the first one to know that they're looking for disposable whatevers. And you happen to work for a manufacturing company that doesn't deal with dental products at all. You're the first person to know this. You're the first person to call. You're the first person in the door. Maybe you'll get the business. First in a series of articles, the Washington Post and all newspapers do that all the time. When you see an article you think you should be in, and it's first of a series, call the reporter that day and say, you know, I know you're working on this story. I'm really interested in it, and I have 3 people I think you should talk to. Tell them why, because that person is hot on the trail of that story. And if you can deliver a great source to them and you can explain why that's a source, you've saved them about 8 phone calls trying to get through to that kind of person. Did you have a... Oh, you were there. And then surveys. I won't go into that too much, but I mean, today it's very easy to do surveys, and if you do something that's meaningful, those are always good. Here's something that I really like a lot, and I mentioned it very, very briefly before, is that every single company, every place where you guys work, there's somebody who you don't know about, or you might, but you don't necessarily know about, who is a great dancer. They're a great violinist. They played with the National Symphony at one time. They did something else. Jeff Porro back there, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie The Great Debaters. Jeff wrote the story to that movie with Denzel Washington. Okay, so you know, that's something that I wouldn't have known about had I not known Jeff. But you know, his name was right on the bottom of the poster and all that kind of stuff. That's great. I mean, that's really something that people would pay attention to, and it's kind of fun. It's got a lot of color to it. We're going to talk a little bit about writing columns and of course sending news releases. News releases are the most obvious thing, and I don't think we have to go into that too much. But the thing about a news release is just write it the same way you write a news story. Is you got to put the news at the top. Don't make people look through it. 2 pages, double space. That's about max.